What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz fam? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. This is the AMC Algo Exposed update video for Monday, January 10th, 2022. Let's take a look and dive right in. All right, so today, right here is the 5-minute chart for Friday after hours, today pre-market, today regular hours, and after hours so far. From a generalized perspective, you can see the box top, breakdown of all three, W, grind up, new box top. We pulled the third to the third, takes us to the next box top like always, right? You could technically look at this like two. If you put one here, W down here, and then grind up, W here, a blow up to this box top. Or you just look at it like one. Either way, it works. This is more of an intraday one here. As you guys know that we're in the live stream today. Once again today, all day, I did the intraday mapping of this using this method. I talked about it. I showed it a few times to everybody again, but it works. I don't know what else to say. It works. So anyways, that's where we're at. We've built out a new box top here in after hours. Most of the time, these things stay flat unless we get a push down here, which is very rare in after hours, right? Normally, they just go flat. We get a little more movement in pre-market. So once again, just like yesterday, I'll keep my eye on it. When we open up the live stream at 9 a.m. tomorrow, we'll take a look together. We'll discuss it, see where we're at, and get ready for open, like always. Okay, now, the 4-hour macro. Again, I'm not going to keep going and rewind. So moving ahead, you guys know that I've been looking at two comparative macro fractals. One is from two descending wedges ago in this same macro descending wedge, which is the yellow lines here, and one from December 2020 prior to the run-up with the 7-year to 7-month descending wedge fractals, matching fractals, right? The one from 2 ago is the big brother, little brother, I guess thesis, scenario, theory of what it is, whatever you want to call it, of my whole theory, right? I have one big theory with a bunch of moving parts. And it's hard to, I guess, name them or categorize them. But, excuse me, I'm looking at two potential moves and have been this whole time in this descending wedge that we're in, and this is where I'm pulling them from. So this one here is from 2 fractals ago. Oh, by the way, if you want context on what I'm talking about, the 7-year to 7-month and the big brother to little brother, there's 2 separate videos behind me. I don't even know what they're called. They're the AMC Algo Exposed videos. Check them out where I break this down. It's a lot to explain. But in this scenario, what I've done is taken this macro yellow descending wedge. The whole theory behind this is the entire fractal from start to finish, meaning from May till now, it plays out in each one of these evenly separated time blocks, and they're happening in alternating fashion, repeating themselves, and that's why I'm pulling from this fractal. TLDR version of that. Do yourself and do me a favor. Go check those videos out. It'll really put things into perspective for you. Okay, so anyways, if I put this here, you can see there kind of how it looks. I want to point out a few things about this overlay here, okay? Let's zoom in a little bit, and I want to point out just a few things. First off, just how the movements play off each other, right? From what we've actually done to the blue. So, something similar like this, where it's calling for the put down or the push down here. We didn't get the full candle push down, but we did get the wick down on this one, right? Same thing here. Calling for the push down to the gap fill area, believe it or not. We didn't get that, but we got this candle push down here. Obviously, a big gap between there and there. Keep that in mind. But what I want you to see is when I line it up, wick and wick, it does indicate a move down there. And if not, which we didn't get, and if we are where we're at in this, right here, I think this is actually indicating a potential move up tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, the next day or two, and then a move back down to the confluence right here on the 13th. By the way, I wanted to point that out in this if I didn't already. The confluence of support for this is showing, and if I have it lined up where it's supposed to be, and I do believe I do, it'll be on Thursday the 13th is where that confluence lands. You can see here how this is a direct hit, but it does not hold with this scenario using this movement, this overlay of this fractal, right? However, the macro yellow descending wedge catches it. But if you take into consideration the gap between where this finished and where this was calling for it, that would pretty much put us, I mean, it'd put us above it, really, to be honest. But nonetheless, even if it came close to here, that's the, we're missing that as well. So we'll keep our eyes open for that. But this does kind of indicate that there would be a potential move up, at least in the next couple days, right? Maybe by the end of the week, we get this move up here in this, using this as a projection for future movement. Also, I'd like to point out the mid-descending wedge, which is the white here, how the blue actually shows that respected as well as a rejection point off the resistance. And then once again, the macro, which is the yellow descending wedge resistance, how a rejection happens and looks to be respected off of that as well using this scenario. Excuse me. So I think that's interesting that those levels actually come into play when using this previous fractal overlay for potential future movement. Okay? I'll get rid of that one. The second one comes from the 7-year to 7-month fractal. I'll show you real quick. This is the 7-year inside of the megaphone. This is from IPO till December 2020 before their blow up in January. The current fractal that we're in is matching right here inside of its megaphone. Right? The confluence of support happened on this one back here, where the W then pushed off of that. We haven't had a confluence since then, and we have one sitting directly underneath where we're sitting right now. So this is that movement clipped and transposed to give you an idea what this looks like. Am I on the daily? I'm going to go to the 4-hour, I believe. Yup. Okay. 4-hour. Let's zoom in and take a look at the movements first. Again, pretty close. You can see here how this lines up almost, right? You don't get the full movement, but once again, wick downs in that area. Wick ups in this area. This here is a little bit confusing, right? This looks like potentially today we should have moved up on this one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 4-hour candles going backwards, and the move should have been up here today. Doesn't mean that we can't tomorrow and still play this out, obviously, or just a continued down move to the confluence, I believe, would still continue to be valid because of this wick down here that we got directly on this candle. I want to point out the levels on this as well. As you can see here, not only does it stay in the mid descending wedge, but it's a direct hit on the confluence of support. I mean, an absolute bullseye direct hit. Excuse me, no breakdown, no nothing. That's where I was talking today about where in the last stream where I think that would actually benefit the move up if that confluence were to be hit and provide us the support and bounce I believe that it could potentially do, which is what it did back in January 2020. Now the difference obviously is a couple nuance moves within the fractal, but the main difference in the two is this one here from December 2020 gives a parabolic run up after the bullseye hit on the confluence, whereas the one that's 2 fractals ago in the big brother, little brother scenario gives us more of a grind up, right? A rejection, a pull back, push up, a rejection, a pull back, push up, and just that basically the rest of the way up to the new box top, somewhere up in here in the mid to upper $40 range is what that's kind of indicating from that fractal. Not me, from that fractal, okay? This one here gives us a parabolic move up and takes us up right around the $70 mark, roughly, if this were to be the fractal that we're using for future movement with that. Okay, those are the two I'm looking at. Now, the last thing, and again, it's part of, last thing I want to review and show you what it is that I'm looking at. It's still part of my general thesis, my general theory, right? This is what I've kind of coined the snake algo. I know it's not the first time an algo has been called that. I can't even think what the name is. I know a couple of y'all wanted me to call it that. Y'all can call it whatever you want. I know what you're thinking about. I know what you're talking about. It had to do with GME, I believe, or something else. Maybe a crypto. Maybe it was a crypto. But anyways, the snake algo, where, and in a brief summary, where the micro movement is actually the head of the snake, and it shows us where the macro movement goes, and therefore the macro becomes the snake's tail and follows wherever the head goes. Now, there's more to it than that. I put a video out on the Big Brother, Little Brother, where I separated that macro descending wedge into specific, evenly distributed time blocks. And within those time blocks, the entire fractal from May till current day plays out in its entirety. And it's a lot quicker, obviously, than the macro. And I believe what's happening is, and I explained this in that video, where the micro catches up to and bypasses the macro, and it keeps running on out ahead of it until the macro fulfills the path of it and catches, never catches it, but it follows in behind and fills in that path. And I found this fractal, I don't know, a week ago, where I think this one has portrayed itself from a micro to macro comparison more than the first one I thought did. And this is the one we've been following now, I believe, for about a week and a half. But I just wanted to show you guys this and how I'm looking at this. I've done a time comparison and translation from the micro to macro. I explained that in yesterday's update video. So check that out as far as what that means. I just want to show you the movements in this one and where I think we're at. And I kind of gauged this out. I thought in yesterday's video, prior to this morning in yesterday's update video, I said I thought we were somewhere right in here. It looked to me right. We have the dip down in the M movement, the dip down in the M movement, the blow up to the box top, right? The blow up to the box top. Then we have this move down, right? We have the move down. Then we have a blow up, down, mini blow up, down, right? A blow up, down. I think today may have been, maybe, the mini blow up. And now we'll come down, right? So in this portion of this theory, this scenario would indicate a potential move, continued downside tomorrow, okay? Just like this here, and then it would make this is the double, right? So you got the double, and then this would make up the other double down here, right? I talked about those dates. I have no convictions on those. Today I talked about this time frame here, this time block from here to here. Real quickly, I don't want to really get into it right now once I get everything tied together, but just know it does have significance and meaning as far as the theory that I've been looking at and trying to piece together and put together for everybody and for myself. So, but I just wanted to show you that I'm still tracking the micro to macro, or the snake algo, whatever you want to call it, and it's still looking good as well. So as far as I'm concerned, no matter which portion or moving part of my general theory, they're all looking similarly good right now and spot on, and I'm happy with what I'm seeing. So again, nothing that I make predictions on. I just let the charts do the talking. I show you guys this. I try to prepare for everything, so I'm surprised by nothing. I try to do that for anybody that watches this content and do the same, and I hope it has the same effect and resonates the same with you. And I kind of leave it open for your interpretation to kind of look at it and do your own work as well. But I try to add as much as I can and try to provide as much value that I possibly can to you guys. So with that said, that's it. That's all I have for this video. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out. I wanted to get something out to you guys here as quick as I could. I just got back from dinner, and that's pretty much it. So I will be live streaming tomorrow, like always, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm sorry. Yeah. 9 a.m. 4 p.m. Yes. 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. My bad. Open to close. And I start at 9 a.m. All right. So we start a little bit earlier than market open so we can get in here and, man, I must be tired. Sorry. So we can get in here and get everything going. So if I don't see you guys in the next video, which I hope I do, I will see you in the live stream tomorrow. Do me a favor, leave a like on the video. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Thank you all for the support. Enjoy the rest of your night. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Enjoy your night. Later.